Hello there. Welcome to a YouTube video where I'm going to be teaching you how to get a very nice orbiting giant ship of your choosing, depending on the mod. I tried this out with the Star Wars Venator. I think that's a class of ship. It's their battle cruiser, the one that looks like a triangle. I tried this out with that, and without some tweaking on a config patch file, you're not going to be able to do this with those ships. But I will, if wanted in the future, make a video on how to do a config patch and you know change them to work with the keyframe animations. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into how I'm getting this ship to vibe and fly around because cinematic purposes, of course, and to save on budget, we're just going straight into the editor. I'm not like cutting that. That's too much work. All right. As you can see, we already have I already made it into a composition. I already have all my keys that I use. And whenever you get an animation that's like this big, you will see some frame dips while you're editing it. But in the game itself, as far as testing goes, I haven't seen any frame dips. So it's just while editing it, whenever it's something this huge, because this is a very large animation, as you can see. So to start, we are going to select all descendants and we're going to start with a clean slate. I'm not going to have a pre-made thing and be like, this is how you do it. So just to start, we are going to get, let's say you don't have a Covenant battlecruiser and you just want something like the submarine. That is not a submarine. Ship. Should come up with Proteus. Alright. Proteus already has physics, like when it's in the water it bounces up and down. You can attach this to a smaller submarine and have it actually like putter around, but just for the purposes of today, we are going to have it as is. Unfortunately, you cannot do this with the aircraft carriers because of the way they are put together. ARMA does not support roadway geometry that is over 72 meters, and this is clearly much bigger than 72 meters. How they got this together is it is basically a bunch of pieces that are like spawned on a single piece. So it's pretty interesting how they managed to get around their own limitations with this kind of stuff. You might be able to do it with the Liberty. I haven't tried. If I fly inside, you'll see what I'm talking about. You can see, here's one piece, here's another piece, the back piece, and we're out. And that's how they get around that limitation. But that is why the Venator class ship, or the Battlestar Cruiser, I'm sorry, I don't know exactly what it's called. That is why that doesn't work. And I will work on a way around that because obviously people want those things flying around in their Star Sim stuff. So moving on, I'm going to try and make this quick, but not too quick so you don't forget anything. We're going to go to Systems, Modules, and then you're going to go down to Keyframe Animation. You can also type in key, and you will see Camera, Rich Curve Key, Rich Curve Control Point, and Timeline. First thing you're going to want to put down is a timeline. This is a timeline. We're going to start simple. We're just going to have it play from the start. That means as soon as the match starts, the animation begins playing. So you're going to put it on loop. That way you don't miss your own animation. For length, we're going to say 30 seconds. A play rate of 1 second, so that's 1 FPS, or 1, point per second. I'm not sure, like, they don't use FPS, obviously, because of what we're doing. So now you're going to want to put down a rich curve. And before you do anything with that, you just go ahead and put down 2 curve keys. Alright? And now when you open this up, you're going to want your object, depending on what it is, to look at wherever it's moving. So, movement, orientation mode, that means it's going to be looking in the direction that it's heading. Oh, excuse me, sorry, I had to cough. Okay, now that that's done, let's say we want it to go from left to right. So we're going to start with this back key over here. We're going to put it on cubic. That's for something that I'll get into after this, alright? So this one, we have it set to 0 because this is the start of our timeline. That means, you know, we want the object to start here. So we're going to leave that at 0, and then we're going to go over here and change this one to 30 because this is the end of our timeline, right? So now that you've changed that to 30 and put it on cubic, I'll get into why you're putting it on cubic after I show you this. We're going to connect these two to the rich curve and then connect the rich curve to the timeline. Now we have these little red dots that indicate the path that the object is going to take. So now you can take your object, you're going to right click it, connect, sync to, and connect it to the rich curve. Now whenever you click on one of your keys, you will see the object going the wrong direction. That is not how submarine work. Probably just put an animation for the submarine. No. That's actually kind of funny. I like that. I like that it goes backwards. If you need to fix that, you can go to this and set dir 180. Excuse me, this set dir 180. There, now whenever you start the actual game, it'll move our guy over here so he can see. Whenever you start the actual game, it'll flip itself over. Hopefully. I mean, if the animation is set to look... I'm not worried about it. It's not my problem. That's a Bohemia thing. This is their submarine. I didn't make this model. I sure as hell ain't gonna fix it. Not for free. Give it a second to load up here. I have not that many mods. I think only like 50 or something like that. Alright. So there's our beautiful submarine. Look at it go. Isn't that amazing? That error code up there has nothing to do with animation. You don't have to worry about that. That's just walkable moving objects being goofy. Look at it go. Little man. So proud of him. Doesn't know how go forward. But okay. So we've got our object moving. Now we want it to, let's say, go in a circle. Alright? So what we're going to do is we're going to add another rich curve key. And we're going to put it over here where our 0 is. And then we're going to change this one to 15. And the reason we did that is because we're going to put this one at the end now, so that it goes in a circle. So now when we right click this, connect to rich curve, we can do that. And now it will bounce between them over 30 seconds. That is the most annoying thing in the world that it's doing that. What is wrong with you, Bohemia? You need a doctor. Okay. So now that we have our animation, it's bouncing back and forth between these 2 points. We're going to get into control points. So now if you control click, you can place 2 of them. You're going to change one of them. It doesn't matter which one. Just only change one to leave. You're going to take them both and connect them to your keyframe. Now we've got a nice little thingamabob going here. See the circle? And then you can do the same thing to the final frame. You can do it to the first one, but just, you know, for the purposes of this video, we're just going to do it to 1. See, since this one doesn't have any control changes to it, it's just going to do that. just for the just for the sake of my own sanity, we're gonna go ahead and. All I did was copy and paste the ones that I already put so that the curve matches. So the submarine is going at a height based on the keys. So if you want it to go lower, you would just lower your keys. So take the rich curve, take the timeline, all of it. You can press space to cycle through these up here. Right now I'm going to use the translation widget. And we are going to drag it to the right. And then drag it down. After we turn off surface snapping. There. We want it to come up above the water a little bit, so we're going to change how it acts when it leaves. And we are going to change the heights of the keyframes. There we go. Alright. So now when we hit play, and we look at our beautiful little animation here, the reason why I'm not covering the config patch in this is because it's a bit of a process, and if you don't really know what you're doing, then it's probably best to just be okay with it or ask somebody to do it. When I do it, I will release the config patch like a template for you to use. Yeah, there it goes. It's going in reverse, it's doing its best. That's all we can ask of it. But that is the basics of how to use the keyframe animation within the Eden editor. It's a pretty helpful tool. I believe it is part of CBA, community-based add-ons. It might also be part of the Eden expansion setup. So if you want to, say, make this into an animation, get rid of that, that has to do with a C, yes, really, shit. I see. Alright. If you want this to be a certain ship, you can just, place your own ship and then... Oh my god, this ship is huge. All you gotta do is sync it to the rich curve after you've set up your animation, and it will follow the animation as you set it. And since this is a big ship, we're gonna raise her on up. I'm just widening the circle a bit so that it doesn't, I just think that it'll probably look a little bit better if it's, it is a very big ship, so flying so fast in such a small circle. Just want to show it off. Very cool. It's a very cool thing. I'm going to cover one other topic in this video. I know it's already 15 minutes long. I will cut out the loading times. Unless I say, I probably won't cut them out. I'll probably just upload this raw. Unless I say something like profound in them. I don't know. There she goes, Tokyo drifting. Isn't it beautiful? Now, the other thing that I'm going to cover is having the ship have turrets that fire down at you. So now that we have our animation, and you've got your, I'm going to swap this ship out for a one that was redone. This is part of the Sci-Fi Plus. In case actually, you know what? Let's go human. I never use human ships. So let's change that. I think I can just type in ships, and I should see. Yeah. All right. Let's go with the Phoenix. That's a big ship. That's a really big ship. Doesn't really matter where you place it because it's going to snap to the keyframes anyway, so just make sure that it can do this. Actually, I think that is flying forward. Yeah, okay. I was really confused there. Just to get rid of the goofiness, we're going to make it a 2-minute loop. And just slow it down even more. Did I say 160 on that last frame instead of 120? Did I put it? Ooh. How silly. Did I put it as 160? I did. I'm so silly. Alright. So now we've got our ship, and it's got its orbit. And we want it to shoot. We want it to shoot at people on the ground, anything really. So we're going to give it a name. We're going to go into the edit the attributes. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word. This is the attributes panel of the ship, where you've got your description, visibility, ammunition, health, armor, all this stuff, special states. What we're going to do is give it a variable name. So we're going to call it big underscore ship. Very simple. We don't need anything too complicated. We just want it to big underscore ship. For now, just to help us with figuring out orientation, we're going to delete its connection with the animation. Just to make sure that we're working with the ship itself here. And then we need to find the back of it. Bring it over here. Flip it around. That is not the back. Back the other way. There we go. Alright. So we want this thing to shoot. So we need guns. We're going to go with the UNSC turrets. Going to be... Sorry, turret base? Oh, is that the... Interesting. Okay, that's cool. I don't know why that's cool. I don't know why they put that in there. That's interesting. I'm sorry. We're gonna get the point defense turret inverted. And we're going to put down 3 of them. Select them all, bring them up to the ship. We're gonna hide them within the ship. Now, with them all still selected, we're gonna right click, go to their attributes, and say this attached to. Don't forget those brackets because those are important. Big underscore ship. And I shouldn't say sometimes, but normally you would see like a comma 000, and that is like displacement where you want them to be on the model, but we want them to be exactly where we put them. So we're not going to bother with that. We're just going to put them right here and call it a day. And they all have that now. So if I click on this one, attach to big ship. If I click on this one, attach to big ship. And now we're just going to double check. That is what I named the ship. You can also see it over here in the editor panel, just to make sure you don't have to give the turrets names. They don't need names. Get rid of this turret base because I don't understand it and it frightens me. Alright, so now our ship has turrets. We have the animation path set, and we are going to make them shoot. Now, this is something that is best done in Zeus. You could possibly have it set up to fire while in the editor. Like, not, of course, while you're in the editor, but have it pre-set up to fire on a location while in... without having to go into Zeus and do it yourself. But just to make sure, or like... Wow, it's really moving slow, isn't it? Either that or it's not moving at all. I wonder. Oh! I'm so goofy. I never reconnected it. My apologies. I have an operation in like a few hours. Not like a hospital operation, but an ARMA op. And I am not necessarily rushing the video, but I am trying to get it done in a timely manner. Timely manner. 21 minutes of loading and talking. This is fine. This is great. You like this, right? Just chatting. Enjoying ourselves. Learning about ARMA. This game really is fun, and I've only breached the surface of modding. I've gotten into animation stuff lately, and it's just been a blast. Alright, there's our huge ship wiggling around. So we're gonna create a Zeus, and we are going to type in update under modules, grab the editable objects, switch it to all mission objects, and since we don't have anything, I'm just gonna press OK. And we have our turrets up here. Now we're gonna pop into the map, that way we have a better view of them all. And we're gonna control click one of them and connect them to the center one. And now you go back to your modules, type in suppress. We're gonna take suppressive fire, click on the center one, max out that timer because why not? And then we're gonna pick a spot. So I want them to shoot at me. And now give them a second to, here comes the fire. And they're on fully automatic with pauses, so they fire big bursts every now and then. And it's not going to be accurate fire because of the way that they're moving right now. I'll show you that in a moment. But it is cinematic fire. So, like, you never want to hit your people with something like this because it would be kind of cool to get ripped up by a ship, but there's modules for that. Like, if I wanted to, I could say, come over to this village over here, and I go to Sci-Fi Plus UNSC, and I do orbital autocannon. I just put it on a big radius and 184. Yeah. But that's just kind of boring, you know? Whereas this is a literal ship raining hellfire down. And I'll go ahead and show you what it looks like on the inside, why they're so inaccurate. It's because they're teleporting around pretty much, and just having to guesstimate. So, it looks really cool, but you're not going to get accurate fire out of that. There is a way to get accurate fire, which I will go ahead and show you since we're already here. But as you can see, I haven't been hit at all, and they're, of course they're suppressing. That's the point of suppression. You're not really aiming for people. Just want to suppress the area. But that aside, we're going to go ahead and return to the editor. And we are going to take the systems. We're going to put them all in a new layer. So this is our first animation, so we're going to call it the ship. And then we're going to copy them and paste them. Oop, not in the same layer. We're just going to copy the whole layer, actually. All descendants, Control C, Control V. And that will give us another, and we're going to call this auto cannon, because we're going to put a cannon on it. Of course, how amazing. So we're going to take one of our little buddies here, we're going to paste him, just copy and paste, move him up into position so that he's inside the ship, or close to it. Now, since we like re-enabled the animation, the ship is going to be like off kilter, but you don't have to worry about it because before we connected the ship to the animation, we made sure that everything was lined up. So now we're going to take this and line it up with these as best we can. Okay, if they're off in altitude, that's fine. Alright. Now we're going to take our new animation curve and we're going to sync. Ooh, that is, I have everything. Take our new animation curve and we're going to sync it to that turret that we just spawned in, which was totally this one. And we're going to disable dynamic simulation because that was an accident. Alright. Get rid of the attachment because it has its own animation curve now. And now it's got an autocannon rotating at the same speed as the ship. So we're going to hit play. I have 9+ notifications on Discord. I hope it's not important. It never is. It never is. I hope everybody's having a good Wednesday and a good week. Oh. Again, I am sorry. I did have somebody asking me about the Venator class ship or the battle cruiser, the Mohawk Man. I am sorry that it doesn't seem like this will work with that ship because of the fact that it is built like the aircraft carrier. But again, I will make a video on how to sort that out. But that is a pretty in-depth video, and I only recommend it if you're in for the long haul, if that makes sense. So we're going to update our editable objects, so type in update. Go ahead and place that down, and since we don't have anything else, we can just click all mission objects and leave the filter to all. Alright, now we've got our turrets up there. We're going to take them all, and we're going to connect them to each other. Alright. So now, because we put that turret in there the way we did, it's on its own animation track. So it's not jumping around like our other boys are. It's moving nice and smooth by itself. So what we can do, suppressive fire. It's better to do this in the map. And we're going to do fully automatic, uninterrupted, because I want a little craziness. We're going to put it on myself. And then we're going to make myself indestructible. Hopefully I actually put it on one of the things. Oh. They're doing their best. I think I put it on the helper, and that might be sending all the bullets to debug land. Or like, they're trying to shoot at debug land, which is over here. So, let me move. Or better yet, oh no. We're going to copy me. That is the helper. Oh, that is interesting. That's this is, if anybody wants to know, this is how walkable moving objects works. It makes a roadway underneath you. That way you can walk on top of stuff. Anyway, we're just gonna put down a little man. Listen to those things. They are ripping rounds right now. At everything and anything. I mean, that would look really cool, to be honest. Let's have a look at it at night. That's why I can't make tutorials, man. I just get so distracted. Woo! Dang! That's pretty sick. That would look awesome. Like, you're in the mission with your buddies, in the fight, and you just see a ship warp in and just start sending rounds like that. Yeesh. And as you can see, our turret that is on an animation track is having no trouble firing in a straight line. The only problem is he's aiming at the wrong stuff. So, suppressive fire, pop open the map. Entire group, and we're going to send it at this port, chat. Getting a little more accurate, but it looks like they don't oh Jesus, they're not going to stop shooting at whatever that is until they finish their 2 minutes. So hey, intended effect achieved. That, you know, that looks pretty cool. And that's basically all this is. You just want something a bit out of the ordinary. People are so used to, you know, running around on the ground and attacking stuff every now and then. That is why stuff like the ship warp in and all that stuff exists. I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like now. This is from Sci-Fi Plus. So we're going to Covenant. Actually, no, we're just going to jump a ship in. We're going to jump it in over there. Say Op Tray UNSC Frigate. Boom. Having one of these suckers like jump in right above you, it's pretty mint. It's pretty nice. Alright, I turned on night vision. We're going to update. I don't have to say all this again, but I do anyway. Connect them all. You're going to get ahead of the curve here. Place a target, visible target, soldier. We're going to put him right there. And then suppressive fire. Say 30 seconds. Uninterrupted fire. Okay. And I want them to shoot at our little man here. Oh, and just to make things easier to see. Yeah, much more accurate when they're actually given something to aim at. But it looks like our buddy up there is still behind the curve on what he should be aiming at, which is unfortunate. But this is, you know, it is what it is in this situation. You get what you get. You're not always going to get the exact result that you want. You can if you mess with it enough, and I highly encourage messing with all this information that you've gotten enough to make something new, you know? Just do your best, have fun, and create some awesome scenarios for people to play in. And until next time, I guess this is my outro. Until next time, Marbarius is signing out. Cool, dude. One last glamour shot. Look at him, isn't he pretty? Alright. Take it easy, and hopefully this helps you guys.